That's not what it says. The words cut the air sharper than glass. Conversation froze. Hands holding crystal wine glasses stiffened mid-air. Every face around the polished mahogany table turned, searching. Some curious, some confused, some angry. But the voice hadn't come from a lawyer or a translator or anyone in a suit. It came from the corner of the room, where the servers stood quietly like shadows. Layla Brooks was standing there, her hand gripping a silver tray of unopened wine. Her eyes weren't on the guests. They were locked on the contract lying open in front of the Japanese guest of honor. A contract worth $500 million. A contract that held a lie. And she had just exposed it. Layla wasn't supposed to speak. Everyone knew that. She was there to move silently, invisibly. But her grandfather had taught her something powerful, that knowing another man's language means knowing his heart. And her mother had taught her something even stronger. Never stay silent when something feels wrong. So Layla didn't stay silent. She said what no one expected. And the room shook. The man across the table, Bryant Maxwell, felt it most. He was America's golden boy of finance. Perfect suits, magazine covers, speeches at fancy schools. Power, money, charm, he had it all. But in that moment, a waitress had stolen his control with a single sentence. And everyone knew it. Layla had always been underestimated. At 24, she was beautiful, yes. Smooth brown skin, almond eyes, graceful movements. But in the world of white tablecloth dining, none of that mattered. All people saw was a uniform. All they expected was silence. She worked at Velvet Ivy, a rooftop Manhattan restaurant where steaks cost more than rent, where billionaires whispered deals over dessert, and where servers were expected to be helpful but invisible. She had learned the rules well. Smile, nod, never react. If a guest snapped fingers, you smiled like it was praise. If they called you girl instead of your name, you let it slide. If someone said, "You're so well-spoken for a black girl," you swallowed it and kept moving. Layla smiled, nodded, but never forgot. They didn't know she had a college degree. They didn't know she spoke Japanese fluently, a gift from her grandfather who had fought in World War II and later taught her the language with love and respect. To him, learning someone's words was the deepest way to honor them. So, no, Layla wasn't just the help. And that night, the world was about to find out. Bryant Maxwell believed he conquered every room he entered. Tonight was supposed to be his masterpiece. The restaurant had been cleared for him. A long table, white orchids, jazz music playing just loud enough to impress. His red tie shone like fire, his signature symbol of power. He was there to close a $500 million deal with Kenji Nakamura, a quiet billionaire from Japan whose family empire stretched across real estate and technology. Maxwell wanted his trust. He wanted his money. He wanted his legacy carved into Asia. The problem? Nakamura was careful, traditional, and insisted on contracts being reviewed in 2 languages. Bryant didn't like careful. Careful slowed him down. So he took a shortcut. He paid a translator $20,000 to quietly change the Japanese version of the contract. The English version sounded fair, open-ended. But the Japanese version was a trap. If the Asian market dropped even slightly, Maxwell would seize temporary control of Nakamura's U.S. assets. Temporary was never defined. It was theft, disguised as paperwork. Bryant thought he was safe. He thought no one would notice. He forgot one thing, the girl carrying the wine. That night, Layla noticed. She saw the contract. She read a word her grandfather once taught her from his old letters. A word that changed everything. She froze. And then she spoke. "That's not what it says." Bryant's head snapped toward her. His smile vanished. "Excuse me?" he hissed. Layla stepped forward, her voice steady. "The Japanese text says something very different from the English. It's misleading." The room went silent. Someone laughed nervously. Is she trying to play lawyer now? But Layla wasn't playing. She looked directly at Mr. Nakamura. He tilted his head, studying her. Then, softly, he asked in Japanese, "What exactly did you read?" Layla bowed slightly, and in flawless, respectful Japanese, she told him the truth. The interpreter sitting beside Bryant turned pale. Bryant barked, "She's lying! She doesn't know what she's talking about. Tell them!" But the interpreter couldn't. His hands shook. Finally, he whispered, "She's right." The truth spilled out. He confessed that Maxwell had paid him to alter the contract. Gasps rippled through the table. Bryant exploded with rage, threatening, shouting, but no one cared anymore. The room had shifted. The power no longer belonged to him. It belonged to Layla. Mr. Nakamura leaned forward, calm, respectful. "Who taught you my language?" he asked. Layla smiled softly. "My grandfather. He fought in the war. He told me, to know a people, you must learn their words." Nakamura studied her. Then slowly he reached into his suit pocket. He pulled out a small, worn photograph. He unfolded it carefully, as if it were sacred. "This is that soldier," he said. Layla's eyes widened. The photo showed a young black American soldier sitting beside a wounded Japanese man in the ruins of war. They were tired, but they were smiling, and she recognized that face instantly. Her grandfather. "That's him," she whispered. Nakamura's voice softened. "Your grandfather saved mine. He gave him water. He gave him chocolate. He treated him like a brother, not an enemy. My family searched for him for years. Tonight, his granddaughter has given us the chance to repay a 70-year debt." Layla's throat tightened. Tears stung her eyes. She held the photograph gently, like it was alive. The room was silent, but it wasn't the silence of money anymore. It was the silence of something sacred. The deal was dead. Maxwell's empire cracked that very night. Within days, headlines exposed him. Waitress uncovers $500 million fraud. Stocks collapsed. Investors abandoned him. The board removed him. Politicians cut ties. He wasn't just broke. He was erased. All because of 5 words spoken by someone he thought was invisible. For Layla and her mother, everything changed. No more eviction notices. No more fear of unpaid bills. Mr. Nakamura himself called her, thanking her for her courage. He offered her a full scholarship to any university in the world. He offered her mother a respected job at his foundation. For the first time, they had a future not built on survival, but on hope. Layla chose Columbia University, studying international relations. Her essay was titled "Truth in Translation," the story of 5 words that changed her life. She walked through campus with her head held high, remembering her grandfather's wisdom. Sometimes the biggest wars are won without weapons, just with courage. One quiet morning, she sat on the balcony of their new apartment, holding that old photograph. 2 young men, once enemies, smiling together in the ashes of war. That single act of kindness had rippled across generations, leading to this moment. Her grandfather had saved a life, and his granddaughter had spoken the truth that saved a legacy. Honor, she realized, is not about money or titles. It's not about power or contracts. Honor is what you do when no one expects you to. It's speaking up when silence feels safer. It's protecting what's right, even when your voice shakes. That night, the world learned a lesson. A billionaire had tried to buy power with lies, but a young black woman, dismissed as invisible, destroyed him with nothing but the truth. And the truth, once spoken, carried further than any empire ever could.